Hello everyone, and welcome to 2017. You're gonna have to excuse my voice. I'm sick for like the 500th time in the past 2 months, but whatever. I'm not going to let that stop me from delivering righteous Bacilli ultimateness for you all. A phrase that you hear a lot is, you give so-and-so a bad name. Well, as it turns out, tons of things have been given bad names. From books and movies to businesses and video games, there are some stupid names out there. And I'm not just talking silly names, or even ones where you just say, huh, that's really stupid. I'm talking about the kinds of names that are so unfathomably, brain-suckingly idiotic that they instill into the deepest reaches of your soul a desire, no, a need, to watch whoever named it fly screaming into the sun. You might even think I have a stupid name, in which case I see where you're coming from. You're still going on display impaled on a stake in my front yard, but I do see where you're coming from. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into it. This is going to be an awards show of sorts. I'm going to give a Razzie-style award for each category of thing and select the worst name from each category. We have movies, games, restaurants, stores, books, bands, foods, and places. Let's do it. To the worst named store in history, I present the Golden Stolen Shopping Cart Award. Walmart was a pretty promising contender for this award just because it sounds really stupid and it's an attempt at being witty with a manipulation of the founder's name. No good price or selection can excuse that. But I ended up putting them as the runner-up once I remembered this one. Piggly Wiggly. Oh boy. So if anyone doesn't know what this is, it's a really old chain of grocery stores that started a lot of the concepts we see in stores today, like the self-service shopping system with the use of carts. I might be wrong, but I'm willing to bet that it's also a really horrible children's book. Seriously, what kind of name is Piggly Wiggly? If you were just driving along and you saw a store called Piggly Wiggly, what would you think it is? I would assume it's some deviant adult novelty store or something. According to their website, the founder was reluctant to explain the origin of this name. Gee, I wonder why! That fact alone is enough to earn them the award for the worst store name ever. To the worst named movie in history, I present the Oscar, the Grouch Golden Trash Can Award. Pixar is sweeping these awards, as they just can't stop making movies with horrible titles. If I were to make a top 10, all of them would be Pixar movies, because they've adopted this absurd practice of naming almost every single movie a one-word title consisting of a vague-sounding adjective. They're not the only studio to do this, but if you read their list of movies, you'd swear Disney bought the rights to the concept. Brave, Frozen, Tangled, Up, Lifted. How lazy can you get? I imagine it going something like this. Okay guys, so we're doing a movie about a guy who ties balloons to his house and flies. What should we call it?
I got it! How about Up? 'Cause he goes up. Get it?
Dude, you're a genius. Imagine if every movie were named like this. Mean, crazy, evil, dead. Okay, that one was really bad, I'm sorry. Musical, famous, pretentious, wet, and I'm just gonna say it, uncreative. But anyway, these are all stupid, but Pixar really outdid themselves. I don't know whether it was an attempt to make the other ones sound like good names, or just proof that Pixar can't come up with a name that isn't either Toy Story or a used barf bag, but here it is, the grand champion, Big Hero 6. The name of this movie has absolutely nothing to do with the content, except for the fact that the main character's name is Hero, which is an atrocity in and of itself. Also, 6? Sure about that, guys? I guess I missed Big Hero 1 through 5, huh? Oh, and Pixar is about to come up with Gigantic in 2018. Pray for the end, people. Pray for it. To the worst named band in history, I present the Golden Underage Groupie Award. This was a hard one, no pun intended, because there are so many stupid band names out there. The worst are the horrible hipster names where they think it's symbolic or something, but it just sounds idiotic. Like, They Might Be Giants, Imagine Dragons, Panic at the Disco, Of Monsters and Men. Or the ones that are supposed to sound quirky and cutesy, like Bowling for Soup, Less Than Jake, The Red Jumpsuit Apparatus. No, seriously, that's a real one. And the list goes on. As Lions is one that really bothers me. I'm putting it as the runner-up, because not only is it stupid, I find it extremely offensive. My parents were eaten by lions, okay? I don't like to talk about it. Actually, these guys aren't really that bad. But, want a band that sucks almost as bad as its name? Almost. Try Jimmy Eat World. I think it speaks for itself. Not only is this a terrible emo band that sounds like a castrated Green Day mixed with Jacob Sartorius, the name is a cataclysm of biblical proportions. Jimmy Eat World? Jimmy Eat Crap and Die! To the worst named location in history, I present the Golden Globe. No, not that Golden Globe. This one is sculpted out of feces. The gold is spray-on. See, I think these things through. Anyway, the worst name of any place in existence is held by a town in Oklahoma. When I say a town, I mean like 20 people live there. It's more like a rest stop than a town. Why is that? Because nobody wants to live in a town called Scraper. Yes, Scraper, Oklahoma. What a name. How about Crowbar or Wrench? Why aren't there towns named after all the tools? The runner-up here was a tie between two other Oklahoma towns. One is called Talala, which always makes me think of that song that goes,
"Oh, you touch my tra-la-la."
The other is called Miami, which is not a bad name by itself. It's spelled the same as the one in Florida. But everybody insists on calling it Miami. Okay, this needs to be addressed. Give me just a second. Hello, everyone, and welcome to How to English Smart Like, the show where the letter I is not pronounced ah, you illiterate idiots! But I digress. Scraper and Talala need to change their names immediately, and Miami needs to open a kindergarten, or just nuke themselves off the map, because they're getting their brains butts kicked by Sesame Street!